everyone, it's Anthony back with another video here on Single and Placing. Hi! I hope you're having a great day, weekday, weekend, week, month, evening, overnight, whatever you've got going on. Thanks so much for checking this video out, hanging out with me. As you can see, we're doing another vlog and we are headed out on a hike today. This is a hike that we've been on before. We've been on one of the trails, but not the other one. I think I did it as part of like my 1,000 subscriber thank you video or something along those lines. It's down in Colorado Springs, a little town called Woodland Park. So we're headed down that way, but I'm going to take you on the other trail, which is the longer one. And so we're going to go on that. We're going to chat a little bit, just do some clips. I don't know how long this will be necessarily. It's probably going to be a longer one, we'll see. But yeah, and in fact, this is actually only a couple of days after the last dog park vlog. But I don't know with scheduling videos when this will go up. But I'm on a long 4-day weekend. This is day 3 of that weekend. And so I'm just getting a lot of filming in. So I'll probably schedule this for later on. You know, I'm not going to do them back to back to back. But yeah, so we're going to go on this little hike. It's a nice day out. I mean, it's pretty chilly. It's about 44 degrees. And I actually forgot to bring my sweater or jacket. I'm hoping I have one in the trunk. If not, I think the workout will keep me warm. I have a long sleeve on, but I'm hoping it warms up by the time we get down there. So we've got Apollo in the back. Let me turn the air on a little bit more for him. We've got Apollo in the back. We're going to do this hike, and then I'm going to go to the tea house, I think, in Colorado Springs. I think I mentioned at one point that I was going there, but that I never took any pictures or anything, so I'm going to try to remember to take some photos this time. But we're just going to go have a little day hike, and yeah, so rather than chit-chatting a bunch with you in the drive and talking about everything during the drive and then not having enough to chat about, I'm actually going to cut you over to a time-lapse. Are you yawning? Oh, yeah. I'm going to cut you over to a time-lapse of this drive because it's very beautiful. And so I'll just flip the camera around so you can see what I'm seeing. We'll do a time-lapse of us making our way to the hike or the trailhead. So I'm going to end it here because I don't want to cover all the topics and then have nothing to chat about on the hike. So we'll do this. So enjoy some nice kind of relaxing music. I'll try to clip in here as we make our way to Woodland Park, Colorado. Okay? We'll see you next clip. Bye. Okay, hold on, don't you get tingled. Okay, all right, everyone, well, we're here, this way. So this is Lovell Gulch Trail, and we have been here before. Come on, let's go. We just parked, and now we're headed in. So you may remember this from the first time we came here, but there's like a little path. The trail kind of comes up and then it splits. And last time we went to the left and kind of meandered around near some houses and stuff, but this time we're going on the full loop. And I read the trail report, and it said that there was going to be some ice and slick areas. Come on, buddy. So I have my spikes on so we can navigate any slick or icy spots pretty well. Ooh, this is steep. I think that wasn't the right way. Maybe it was. That just felt steep. Oh no, we took the hard way. It's like, I don't remember being parts that were that steep here. I'm already out of breath. So yeah, I hope you liked the drive. I did the time lapse with my phone. So we'll see how well that turns out. Hold on. Sorry. Outdoor walk. Outdoor walk. Oh my goodness, hold on. Outdoor walk. Okay. Make sure you have a good view. Okay. Let's go, Apollo. Come on. So yeah, I did that with my phone. Hopefully that ends up turning out okay. I don't want to like full on time lapse. I really just want a, oh, the wind. I don't want a full on time lapse. I want just like a speed up version, but I also wanted to listen to my audiobook. So when I'm filming on my phone, I can't listen to music or anything, but if I do time lapse, I can. So I put it on time lapse, and then I'm hoping when I get home, I'll be able to slow the time lapse down slightly, so it's not as fast. But that was a fun drive. Apollo kind of just slept the whole time, and one of my buddies, his girlfriend, who I would consider my friend now, I went out with them 2 nights this weekend, on Friday night and Saturday night. And on Saturday night, we met her and her friends, and they were like, "Oh, we're doing a book club now." And I was like, "Oh, cool. What's the book?" And it's called The Guest List, I think. And so they're like, "If you want to read it with us, we're going to do our first meeting, our first book club meeting." So, detour. Last time we went that way, and now we're going this way. So, last book club meeting, or the first book club meeting is going to be in a month, or in like 20-something days. I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, can I do audiobook?" And they're like, "Yeah, that's what most of us are doing." I was like, "All right, well," so I got the Audible app again and used my first credit for that. And it's only like 10 hours long, 10 and a half hours. So I was like, oh, I could crank this out after like a good week of diamond painting, you know? And so this drive alone is about an hour and a half each way. So I listened to a good portion on the way here, and it's good. It's like, it's murder mystery-y, I think, but then there seems to be something else going on. I can't tell if it's like some sort of monster or something lurking in the shadows, but it's cool. Whew. Steep part. Oh my word, Apollo. Come on. I don't think I'm gonna let him off leash until we're officially on the like main loop. So it kind of has a loop and then a trail leading up to it. So think of like a balloon with a string. It's kind of what it looks like. Oh, you're gonna get some heavy breathing on this one. Oh my word. Okay, let's go. He's like, we just started. But yeah, it was a good start to the book. I always have a rough time. So like me with books, I don't commit a lot of stuff to memory. Hold on. Take my hood off. I'm gonna let this lady get in front of us. Hold on. Come here. Please hold. Hello. Hi. Say hi. Say hi. Oh. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Good boy. Okay. You ready? Hi. Sorry about that. I might have to clip that out. In the last vlog that I used this camera for, I just kept recording even though people were walking by, and then I cut out so you didn't see people's faces and stuff. Let's get this. Oh no. That's okay. I'm saying oh no because I lost the tip to my Camelback. My little water thing keeps coming off. And it's officially gone. So I don't know if I lost it in the car as we were getting ready or if it fell off on this short piece, but it's been coming off recently. So I think it's just time to upgrade it. I got it for free at work. So maybe it's just time to upgrade. But if I put too much pressure on my backpack, it'll start squirting out water. So we do have to be mindful of that. Okay, I'm not sure if she's just taking pictures and coming back down or if she's full on hiking. Let's see. Let's just see if we can pass. Okay. Hold on. Come on, Apollo. Let's go. Okay, I guess we'll wait. Sorry, I want to give her a little bit of a lead so I don't have to talk behind her all awkwardly the whole time. Let's see. But anywho, what was I talking about? Oh, that book. So I got a good chunk of it done. And I was like, oh, I could get this done in like a week of diamond painting and just put it on. So I think I'm gonna, because I have a lot of other books from Audible that I have purchased just because I used credits on it previously. So even if I wasn't actively subscribed, I was still, it lets you keep your library. Like once you buy them, they're yours. And so there is a sci-fi novel series called The Expanse that I have been reading off and on for like years. And it's really good. There's a series based on it that I believe Sci-Fi was working on and then Amazon Prime was working on. I don't know if it's still ongoing. And I may have mentioned it before, but I was looking through my Audible account and I was like, oh, I have like the first 6 or 7 books. And I know a couple of them I haven't even started. So I think I'm going to start getting back into The Expanse. Another reason that reminded me to do that is Jeffrey Morrison from Echoes of Color. He's reading The Expanse. I think he's on the 6th book right now. And I was like, I need to get back into The Expanse series because I honestly, I was saying, I'm so bad with books, like I read them and they're almost like movies to me, and I'm bad about remembering characters and like plot points and stuff in movies. Like I watch it and I'm entertained in the moment, but I don't retain a lot of it. Like I don't keep it with me. So like I'll read a book and I'm like, that was a really good book. But if someone was like, oh, XYZ character, like a main character, I'm like, who? I don't know what you're talking about. And so I'm so bad about that. So this time I'm trying to be really intentional when I'm listening and trying to make sure that I have the characters down right, because I'm gonna have to speak to it if I'm doing the book club, you know? So, so yeah, that's my goal for this book, is like, remember who Jules is. She's the bride, and Olivia's her stepsister, and Hannah's the bride's best friend's wife. And, you know, I'm like trying to remember all that stuff. So, Apollo, hi baby. He wants off leash so bad. So yeah, I'm just trying to remember all that stuff. But it's going good so far. It's a good book. It's keeping me engaged. There is a lot of like jealousy, which makes sense. It's like a murder mystery during a wedding. So it's a lot of like, my husband had a crush on her, and does she have a crush on him, and blah, 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 you know. Hold on just a second. Let's see if we can sneak past. Come on. Okay. Come on. So yeah, it's an interesting book. It's not exactly my cup of tea that I normally gravitate towards. Like, I like more sci-fi stuff, but it's not something I'm like, ooh, I don't want to listen to this. Like, it'll be fun to talk about, and I kind of get the feeling it's going to be a whodunit. But I feel like there might be some kind of monster aspect to it, or like something like that, but maybe that's just wishful thinking. It might just be the butler did it on the cliffs, and the this and the that. Come on, come on, come on. You're supposed to be pulling me up the hill, not down. So anyway, that's what I was listening to on the way here. And like I said, it's pretty good. Oh, Lord. Okay. I hope me gasping for breath is okay with you guys. I know a lot of people said that these outdoor videos have been encouraging people to get outdoors themselves. Hey. You can't eat all that grass. That's too much. Has been encouraging people to get out and go for walks and stuff. So maybe my struggle is your struggle. It's just always harder to hike in the snow and the mud. And of course, these shoe spikes on top of the heavy hiking boots, just each step is, that much more heavy. So I've kind of got to have my hands on my hips. I could have brought my hiking poles today. This would be a perfect day for trekking poles, but I didn't. It's okay. Whew. Oh my word. But yeah. Oh, here we go. Speaking of trekking poles. Oh, look at your cute puppy. Hi. Come on. Hey. And crazy dog, let's go. So yeah, looked like he had some spikes on as well. Come on. He's already muddy. That's okay. That's okay. One of my friends said he looks like a dire wolf in the snow, which I know that's a reference to Game of Thrones. Like, I know that, but I didn't watch the show, and I don't exactly know what that is. I mean, I can only assume it's some kind of wolf that's white in the show, but I don't know for sure. Let's see. Look at him. Okay, let's go. Let's go. But if that is what he looks like, let me know. I think I might need to tighten this chest strap for next time. It's comfortable, but it keeps sliding up. So I think it's a little too high on me. So I think it needed to be lower and tighter. So we'll have to keep that in mind for next time. Oh, it's nice and snow-packed. Oh, this is beautiful. No mud. So yeah, it's a good idea on packed snow like this to have your spikes on. It just prevents sliding, and you can just take more confident steps, and you can actually hike faster. Joseph. It just allows you to hike faster because you can take more confident steps, so you're not doing that little baby walk, the little around. I can take a nice step forward and know that I'm not going to slide. And in fact, I could probably jog with this. We've got someone coming up. Apollo, let's come up here. Good boy. Good boy. Hi, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
Good. Okay. Good boy. I've got his treats in my bag, so we'll have to stop and give him some treats soon. But yeah, this is my perfect hiking weather. It's like not so cold that it's freezing. It's a little windy, but not too windy. And it's not icy, just kind of snow-packed and not muddy. So if I had to pick kind of a winter style, ooh, look at this. This is completely frozen over. So usually this is where the creek runs through, and they'll have like logs down or rocks in the spring. You have to kind of wade through this, but it is completely iced over. Once again, good thing we have our spikes on. How cool. Look at it. Okay, so right here is a split in the trail. We can either go up that way or this way, and it's a loop. So either way, we're gonna end up right back here. But we're gonna go this way. This is usually the way I take. Reason being is towards the end of the hike, there is a pretty steep hill. And if we go this way, we get to go down that hill as opposed to up. So that's why I go this way. Come on. But yeah, and I think I've mentioned this before. This is out of the way for sure from where I live. But back, it was like 4 years ago, we always do every year these days, but we had a pretty significant series of forest fires up on the western slope and the foothills. So it was very smoky, very overcast, and it almost made it hard to hike. A, because a lot of trails were closed down, but B, because you would just get that smoke in your lungs and it just was really uncomfortable. It would burn and you couldn't see anything. Like, there was just a haze everywhere. So it also wasn't a very pretty hike. And so I decided to try to find some alternatives, and there weren't any forest fires at the time this far south. So I started researching hikes down in this area and came across this loop hike, and it's not super crowded. There's not a ton of people. You know, it's pretty chill. And so now when I want something a little less crowded, this is where I come. But last time we were here, we went on a path that I hadn't been on before. We ended up getting a little turned around. If you remember, I kept having to be like, all right, stop, turn, let's head back. A lot of dead ends. But this is the hike that I know well as the loop hike, so. Come on, buddy. Just gonna get over this ridge, and if I don't see anyone, I'll let him off. He's pretty good about like not running after people, but this is an on-leash dog park, or a trail, and I don't like it when people have misbehaved dogs off leash and they come up at you. And so I would never expect anyone to put up with that from me or my dog. So I err on the side of caution, make sure that there is nobody either behind me or in front of me as far as I can see, and then I'll let him off. But like I said, he's really good. I think it's because he's still kind of skittish around people and dogs, that if I say, easy or stay, then he just stops in place. You've seen it before, where I'll tell him to hold, and I can come up and clip him. So hopefully he's in that kind of mood today. But this is awesome. This is the exact kind of trail I was hoping for today. So anyway, camera seems to be doing okay. Each of the batteries claims that it can last like about 2 hours per charge, but I think that's really dependent on what type of recording you're doing. If you're doing 4K or 1080p or whatever, that can be more taxing on the battery. So last video I did at the dog park, I did that in the maximum highest quality it can go, which is like 4K, 60 frames per second. It's like the highest this thing can put out. And the battery only lasted about an hour and a half. Before we got back to the car, it said it had 9% remaining. So I turned it down to 1080p for this video. So we'll see how long that takes before the battery runs dead. And then the other thing that I noticed, and I don't know if it's a result of the quality of the video, but it films in like 4-minute clips. And it doesn't like stop. Like I don't have to, it doesn't stop and I have to hit record again. It keeps filming, but it chops the file up into like 3.7 minute clips every single time. If it's less than that, obviously it doesn't, if I only film for a minute, it's a minute. But if I'm filming for 10 minutes, it breaks it up into like 3 clips. And I don't know if that is just the nature of the camera. That way you don't have such large file sizes that you're trying to transfer, or if that was due to how high quality I was trying to film in. I don't know what that was, but it was a little annoying to transfer 30-something independent files over and upload those individually into iMovie than it would have been just to have one, hour and 10-minute video. So I don't know what that is. We'll see if it happens again today. It might just be because the file size was so big. I'm hoping that it won't be the case with the 1080p, because recording at 4K at 60 frames per second my files, by the time I had all of those files put together, it was like 100 gigabytes, which is massive for a video. Way higher than what I usually do with my iPhone. Like usually my really long vlogs will be like 11 gigs. So this was nearly 10 times the size. And so I'm hoping that by turning that down, that'll help. But I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So yeah, but I'm gonna probably watch some videos on how to best, like optimize my settings, try to see if there's features that I haven't used. All right, everyone, we just hit our first mile and we're moving and grooving. Let's go. Pull me. Go. He wants off this leash so bad. Okay. I just don't know if I can trust you, buddy. I don't want you freaking somebody out. Let's see. Let's see if I can get to a better clearing. Hey. Don't eat that stick. Don't eat that stick. Let's go. So yeah, I'm hoping it films a little bit better. And it just took so long to get that video uploaded at that size. I had to leave the house today without fully finishing it because it was just taking forever. And I don't know if it's my computer that's now lagging behind. We'll have to see with this lower video quality, or if it's my external hard drive, but like I had to fully let it like process the audio and stuff, when before I could just hit play and start editing the clips, and at the very end it would process it all. But I could edit before it was all processed, I didn't have to sit and wait. And now I did have to do that this morning because I'd hit play and it would freeze, or the audio would cut in and out, and I had to let it sit and like fully work through the file before I could listen to it cleanly. Okay. You better be good. I'm not kidding. Be nice. Look at him. Come here. Oh my gosh. Are you a snow dog? Are you a little snow puppy? Let's go. Oh my word. Look at him. He's ridiculous. Good boy. Come on. If I have to bribe him with treats, I do have those. So, but when he's in this kind of riled up mood where he's like jumping and launching, he'll get close enough to me to make me think I can get him, and then he'll run away. So I have to just be mindful of that if there's people around. I don't want to be that jerk. So I think we're okay. Editing was just a big old pain in the butt. So I finally got all the clips loaded, and I was able to clip everything and snip it and edit it down the way I wanted to. It's still a long vlog, and it should have already been up by the time you see this, obviously, but I think I woke up and started working on that around 6:45, 7 this morning, and we left today at like 10:30, 11, and I still hadn't actually uploaded it onto YouTube. I had just done the creating the file. So hopefully YouTube lets me upload it. I have never tried to upload a file that large, so hopefully it works. It'll probably just take a long time. So that's what I'm gonna work on tonight at the time of filming this. And then I've got a couple other videos I wanna film. I couldn't decide whether I wanted to go skiing today or tomorrow, but I wanted to get Apollo out. Let's go. I mean, look at this. And this is a dog that ran like 2 miles at the dog park, 2+ miles at the dog park 2 days ago. And then yesterday, probably did about 4 miles between all of our walks throughout the day. So he's just relentless. Hey, let's go. Exercise ring already closed for the day. I'm chasing those rings, people. I've got to close my Apple Watch rings every day. I didn't do it. What day was it? I don't remember. I've missed one day so far in like the past 10 days. But other than that, we've been hitting it every day. So right now I have it set to 30 minutes of exercise, which I might bump up to 45. And then 800 calories burned, which I might bump up to 1,000. We'll see. Apollo, easy. Come here. Stay. Stay. Good boy. So yeah, see, he does that. Sometimes he doesn't. And then I think it's like standing. You have to get up and stand a little bit every hour for 12 hours, I think is the standing one. And that one's pretty easy for me because they only want you to stand for like a couple of minutes and then you're good. So that one's like the easiest one. But it's that calories one usually that gets me, because the exercise one, like I can walk for half an hour. Hold on. Good boy. Good boy, easy. Oh. Come here. Come here. Hello. Good boy. Good job, buddy. Okay. Okay. Good thing I clipped him up. Okay. Oh. Especially on like an icy path like this. Like if I was hiking on an icy slick path and then this big old dire wolf started running up, I would absolutely slip and fall. So I just don't want to do that to someone. Okay. Good job, buddy. Coming up here, so it's going to be pretty hilly and pretty up and down, and then we have a pretty steady hill climb that we go up to the top of the trail, and then up there's long, flat straightaways where I can see much farther than I can see now and what you can see, and so that's where I'll probably let him off most. But right now it's just, you don't know who's coming around the bend. You don't know if they're really steady, like, you know, confident hikers, or if they're gonna freak out. So anyway, but it is pretty, huh, Apollo? What was I talking about? I was talking about something about diamond painting, probably. Dang it. I lost it. We're talking about Apollo, maybe? We talked about the dog park. The video editing. Oh, geez Louise. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to think of other stuff that's been going on. I took Apollo to the vet. That was actually a week ago. I just don't think I brought it up yet. And he wasn't due for any vaccines or anything, but he'll be a year old in a little less than a week. And I just felt like I needed to give him like a 1-year checkup, even though he's got to go in like in 3 months for vaccines. But I was like, let's just do a 1 year. Make sure he's, hey, stop. You did this last time we were here. Hey, no grasses. Whatever that grass is, he's just a big fan. So, yeah, I just did like a 1 year, make sure everything's good. And yeah, he did just fine. He's 80 pounds, so he's a big boy. And they said he'll probably keep growing a little bit. And they just, checked his breathing, all that stuff, and no abnormalities. I did tell her that he's been a little bit more finicky with his food. Like, he kind of, like, oh, today was different. He had a decent amount of breakfast, but apparently he wants grass today. But he used to, and I've said this several times, I'd put down his food in the morning and he'd chow down. His food for lunch, he'd chow down. Dinner, he'd chow down and eat it till it was gone. And now, like yesterday, he had 1.5 bowls of food, which is like 1.5 cups. But granted, I did put some egg and other stuff in there. But that's kind of all he had throughout the day. And he really didn't eat all day until right about dinner time. And then he ate his bowl of food. And then I gave him a little bit more and he ate that, but he's just not eating as much as he used to. And he picks at it, like gives a little nibble here, nibble there. And it doesn't matter what I put in it. Like yesterday, I was like, let's just keep putting some yummy stuff in here until you actually eat it. So I put like pieces of chicken and what else did I put in there? A little bit of some tomato puree. And like, it just didn't matter. He'd take a couple bites and then be like, okay, I'm bored again. So I don't think there's anything wrong. I think he's just maturing and his eating habits are changing. Because it's not like I don't think he's sick. He's just, different than he used to be. So I think what I'm going to do now is leave his dry food out. Because he really likes this raw food that I've been giving him. It's freeze-dried raw. And so I soak that in water and put a little egg and stuff. So I'm going to start giving that to him because he will lap that up because it's almost like a soup. He'll drink that. But the kibble, if I pour that water or that broth on top of it, he'll lap up all the liquid and then leave the kibble until he's like really hungry, So I think what I'm going to do is put them in separate bowls. So he'll always have his dry kibble out, but I'm going to still feed him that other stuff separately. So at least I know that he's getting that. And then when he is in the mood, then he can come and nibble on his other stuff. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out ways. And then at the grocery store yesterday, I got some chicken thighs were on sale. So I got chicken thighs. I got some beef for stew, like that chunked up stew beef. And then I got a pound of ground turkey. So when we get back to the house today, I'm gonna cook that up and put it in a big bowl. Mince it, obviously, chop it up, put that in a big bowl, and just sprinkle, a quarter of a cup or an eighth of a cup of that on top of his food to encourage him to eat. I also got some butternut squash that I'm gonna puree. So I'm not giving him raw. I am gonna cook it at least, a little bit. And then and it's not for anything other than to encourage him to eat his kibble. It's just gonna be like as a topper. But I've noticed that I can also trick him by pretending I'm putting some of my own food on top of his. Like the other day I was putting balsamic glaze on top of a salad and I grabbed his bowl because he wasn't eating and I put the cap back on the glaze. I tipped it over and went, ooh, and squeezed it. Hey, what is your deal? And squeezed it on top of his food and he ate it. Didn't eat all of it, but he ate a good hunk out of it. So I just had to trick him. Oh, so we're getting up to kind of the steep part. So we kind of go up this uphill. Essentially, you're going to loop around and go up this hill. If you can see it. And then we end up at the top. And it's not smooth sailing from there, but it's okay. Whew. Okay, let's get around this corner and then I'll let you off again. There's only like between 5 and 7 cars in the parking lot, which isn't too bad for this size of a trail, but better safe than sorry. Oh my word. Okay, brake. Oh my word. You're doing good, buddy. You're doing good. Yeah, say hi. Hi. Hello, love bug. Let's see where we're at. 1.61 miles. Okay. You ready to keep going? Let's go. Don't get tangled. Hold on. Okay. So yeah, feeding Apollo, that's a topic. What else? Oh, last night I got some work done on Head of Medusa. Ooh, I don't know if I said this. I got a section of Cozy Evening done over the past couple of days. So that was nice. Take out a kid I haven't touched in a while. So yeah, I got a section done on that. Nice change of pace. And yeah, I broke out Head of Medusa. I'm at like 48.5%. So I'm hoping tonight I'll be able to film that cross-stitch update and then be at 50% for that video. Oh, Apollo. I'm too old and fat for this. What are you doing? Why did I get such an active dog? Okay, let's go. He's like, this is nothing. He'll keep me young, I guess. But yeah, this is quite the hike. I forget how many vertical feet gained. I don't think it's very much, but it's like a steady incline. So you don't really get too much of a break. Like there obviously are some downhill spots, but the first half of it is just up, up, up. But it's fun. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I definitely have been trying to push myself to being more active with Apollo past like couple of weeks. I guess it's just been 1 week, week and a half, but I've been going to the gym at work. We've been walking a lot more. We've just generally been more outdoorsy, even more so than before, just because, like I said, I have been feeling a little like sedentary, and I just want to kind of get some of that flexibility, mobility back. And so I've just been trying to hike and walk with him a lot more. And I can say that I've already felt a little bit better. Just in like the week, I've been more like keen on being more social, like more than just like the energy levels. My mood has just been elevated a little bit. I think I've said everything before because I've done a lot of vlogs, but I'm definitely the type of person that's like, okay, did it. Now I don't have to do it anymore. And so I'll get that hit of like dopamine or that positive mood from working out. I'm like, perfect. Don't have to work out for another week until feel like I need it. But it's like developing that consistency and pattern is something that I'm definitely trying to focus on this time. So I think a week of consistently working out and exercising, or over a week with only 1 day rest or a gap, is not too bad. So look at all these boulders, and there's like a little cave in there. You can actually walk over there and go inside, but I'm not feeling it. Do you want to, Apollo? He's like, no. Let's keep moving forward. Okay. Big hill. Get tied up. Okay. Come on, Bubba. Let's go. Power through. I could not imagine doing this without spikes. Be sliding all the way down. Whew. 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 That was a good one. So pretty. But yeah, I ordered HelloFresh and I picked some, not like healthy options, but I just picked the ones that looked like good. I picked like a good mix of some salads, a protein bowl, but then my splurge was these meatloaf sandwiches. And of course, those are the first I decided to make. So I had those yesterday for lunch. Oh, and then I'm gonna have them today for dinner because I can't not come down here without having some dim sum. So I'm not really calorie counting right now. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm not overindulging on any one specific thing. And I've always found, for me personally, and this might change with age. Hold on. Let me... I want to get to a spot where I can breathe. Hold on. Oh my word. It's hard talking while doing this. If you're working out to this or going on a walk, let's push through. We got this. Whew. And if you're diamond painting, you can finish this DMC. You can get through that 9:39 or 3:10. Push through that last section. Don't let confetti keep you from achieving your diamond painting goals. Let's go! But I can't come to the Springs without some dim sum. I mean, I drove all the way down here. And yeah, I'm not trying to like calorie count right now. I'm just trying to be just generally smart, you know? Like, I went to the grocery store and I got, because I have HelloFresh, I got mainly food for Apollo, to be honest, but I also got some snacky things, like some carrots, what else? Yogurt for breakfast. I got some kashi, protein cereal for breakfasts. I drink a lactose-free milk, not for any other reason than it's heavily pasteurized, and so it lasts long because I don't drink that much milk, so I kind of need it to last. And just some other basics, but not that much since I have HelloFresh. But I also got some indulgent snacks. I got a bag of Funyuns because I like those once in a while. Like, I still got my stuff because I feel like when I've done a big health kick like this before, I go all in, like strip it all down. You're just eating steamed this and, you know, steamed that and absolutely no sugar and no this and no that. Just cut it all down. And that lasts like a week before I'm like, yeah, can I get 2 McDoubles and a large Oreo McFlurry and a Diet Coke? So I'm like, you know what, this time don't treat it as like a punishment, or don't associate it with you being like feeling any kind of way about your body or your health. Just like make some slight changes, gradually ease into it, and it'll be fine. And so that's what I've been doing. I haven't been like withholding anything from myself. I'm just making sure that I'm working out consistently and getting out from behind the table, you know, take a break from diamond painting, go for a walk, go for a hike before you go sit down for the evening. Because there was a stint there where I was coming back from work and immediately plunking my stuff down, putting on a podcast or like a whip and chat or something, and I'd just start diamond painting. And I'd go until Apollo would be like, hey, it's getting late. And then we'd go do our walk. But now, before I do anything, I grab him. Oh, how pretty. If you're looking and listening, this is a good shot right here. Aspen trees, blue sky in the background, pine trees, nice breeze, nice puppy. Hi, bibbies. Nose is runny. But yeah, just now I'm like, I get home, I let Apollo out, gives me hugs and kisses, I let him out to go potty, then I'm like loaded up. We're either going to the lake or on a hike or to the dog park, but we're gonna go do that because then I'm in the mode to do that. For whatever reason, I just go longer. And so, yeah. And then trying to get to bed at a decent hour too. Haven't been doing any late night diamond painting marathons. I usually would do those a few times a week, and now I haven't done one for like a week. Oh, it's getting hot. Let me pause you so I can take this coat off or at least unzip it, but I have to pause you because you're on my chest, so I need to get around you. So hold on just a second. Okay, I think we're good to go. Another thing that I need to kind of figure out is fixing this water thing. So the water thing did start leaking, but luckily it gave Apollo a chance to get a drink. I just hope that it didn't get any of my equipment in my backpack wet because it was pouring down my leg. So we'll figure that out when we get back to the car. But see, it's leaking. Just have to be upright, I guess. Oh my goodness. That thing's gonna have to go in the trash when we get home. Apollo, let's go. Okay, so that person that we passed up caught up to us while we took our break. Oops, sorry. And passed us. So we might be passing her again. We'll see. But I took the coat all the way off because I'm getting hot. And it looks like the battery for the camera is probably at about 30%, maybe less. And so, let's see, oh my goodness. All the electronics are needing stuff from me. Dismiss. So we've been going for an hour. So I guess that kind of makes sense that it's at that percentage. So, all right, fine. It does what it says it's going to do. At first I was like, these batteries aren't quite living up to expectations, but seems like they might be. I'm just not thinking that we've been hiking for as long as we have. Okay. Sorry, Apollo. I need to reconfigure my clothes right now. Ugh. Sorry. Okay. That's as good as it's gonna get. But yeah, aside from just generally having more energy, waking up earlier, sleeping better just after a week, yeah, I've just been like in a better mood generally. I've been more inclined to socialize or go out. Like, I don't know, I had this stint where I was just like, oh, I'll just diamond paint. I'll just go back and like even like be like going out and then leaving early because I'm just like, I just don't have it in me to socialize, and I'd rather be home diamond painting. But now, at least the past couple weekends, I've been making the choice to not craft and go out. And I would go out and karaoke and stuff pretty regularly, but like this past weekend, my buddies were like, oh, we're gonna go to dinner and then go meet up at this brewery after. And I was like, At first I wasn't into any of it, and then I was like, all right, I'll go to the dinner, but I can't go there and to a brewery. Like my excuse is like, I'm just too old for this multiple locations going out kind of thing, which I am, but my friend group is slightly younger than me, and I don't want to disconnect from them. Oh, hold on just a second. Come here. Come on. Okay. Pit stop. Good boy. Hi.
Oh, you're so cute.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, buddy.
Say hi.
What kind of dog is he?
He's half Malamute, half Husky.
He's
Oh yeah, I see the
cute.
husky in the eyes.
Yeah.
Hi, buddy. You're so cute.
Yeah, he likes being out in the snow, so.
He looks like snow.
Yeah. Have a good day. Let's go. Good boy. Let's go. Good job, buddy. Yeah. What? Are those people's? There's no new friends? Let's go. Hey. Forward. Forward ho. So yeah, the multiple locations, the bar hopping, that's just not been my thing for a while, and part of it has to do with me just kind of, I think, aging out of that, but also part of it has just been just not having the energy, or like just mentally being a little bit down and not being able to like keep that positivity up. And I wear my emotions on my sleeve, so anytime I'm in like a down mood or like depressed or just not feeling like it, I find that I can't really tamp that down very well, even in social situations. And it's been something I've struggled with in the past, where people are like, are you okay, man? Is everything all right? And I feel like sometimes I inadvertently bring the mood down because I'm just in my own head. So my response to that has been, okay, well, if you're in that kind of mood, just don't go out, stay in, because you don't want that to erode potential, or erode friendships or relationships. Just sit it out, until you're feeling better. He just grabbed the biggest mouthful of grass. Hey, stop. Stop it. Let's go. I think our friend's coming back. Let's see. I can't tell. Whew. Yeah, I think so. But we're going to continue on. So let me just get around her real quick. Hold on. No, I think we're just doing a switch back. Come on. This way. This way. Okay. When we get to the top, we're almost there. We're right at the ridge. We'll probably take a little break and get some water, get a snack, and we'll finish this thing out. Whew. Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna pause you. Actually, let's get to the top so you can see it at least. Come on. Okay. We can do this. All right, let's take a look at that view. Wow. What do you think, Apollo? Pretty cool, huh? Whew. There you have it. This is kind of the summit-ish. There's some other really pretty spots, but this is the top of Lovell Gulch Trail. What do you think, Apollo? Do you love it? Let me try to get some distance between me and that lady. If we keep crossing paths, I might just ask her, like, hey, he's not an attack dog. Do you mind if he just kind of bops around, you know? So we'll see. Whew. This way. Good boy. Hi. Whew. So we came up here when he was just a pup. I think this was one of the first hikes that he went on. And even then, he was such a good listener. He would come back when I called him. The only time he got distracted is there was a squirrel, and he took off in these trees here. He took off down there and ran, but I yelled at him with enough, because at the time, you know, he was still a little guy, so I didn't know if he was gonna come back or not. I was freaking out because he ran off into the woods, and I screamed this like blood curdling panic scream because I'm like, he's gonna get eaten. And all my buddies were like, whoa, where'd that come from? I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know why I decided to screech so loud, but that's my baby. You know. And he turned back and looked like, oh, is that the sound when I'm in trouble? Okay, I better reel it in. And he came back. But yeah, that was the first time that, I think it was the first time I had let him off leash at all. Like the first time he had ever been not harnessed up. So I was very like nervous the whole time. But I've learned to trust him slightly. I think my main thing, like last year when we went camping when he was a little pup, the biggest thing was he just loved, he can search out poop no matter where he is, what he's doing, he can sniff it out. So when we went camping, that's all he would do when I would let him off leash, is just go find piles of poop to eat. And it was so gross, and I didn't have anything to clean him, and I didn't bring any fresh breath bones. So now I've learned my lesson. And now if we're gonna do like a hike like this, like in the car, I always have a couple fresh breath bones. I need to start actually bringing his toothbrush and toothpaste, because that would also be really helpful. but he just like, he's like a little poop laser. And so that's usually why I don't let him completely off leash when we go camping. It's because I'm like, I don't know what you're, I trust that he'll be able to run away from something, and he's got enough fear in him to not investigate like a predator or something, you know? But I'm just like, he's just out there eating poop all day. Right, buddy? He looks like so in his element right now. Okay, let's get up over this hill and we'll see what we're looking like, okay? I keep saying that, but then ooh, you guys want to see something creepy? Look, it is a deer's like hoof and part of its leg. Can you see that? There it is. Gross. That's nature. Apollo's like, what is that? Is that a treat? Okay. I also just noticed that the battery has a warning light. So let me get to the top of this hill here, and we'll see what we're looking like people-wise. And while we're up here, I will swap out the battery and change to the second microphone, because there's two. Deep snow going uphill. Oh my goodness. Come on. Come on. Okay. Oh my word. Okay. Come on, friend. Pit stop. Whew. Okay. Okay, hang tight while we recharge here. Hold on. Okay, record button on. Beautiful. Okay, I think we're back in business, everyone. So I'll show you real quick. This is, you can see that. Let's see. So this is what the mic looks like. So this is the second one, and I've got the other one on me. This is a little charging case for it. So the receiver goes in here, the other mic, and then there's all these different mounts. So you can plug it into an iPhone or a USB-C. Those don't do anything other than hold the transmitter in place. They don't like transfer data or anything, I don't think. Maybe they do, I don't know. I think it must transfer the audio somehow, but anyway. And then, let's see. So, and then this is the battery pack. So it comes with 3 batteries, which equates to about 5 hours of recording if we go by what I've experienced so far. So, not too bad. Anyway, we got some water, we got some snacks. Apollo ate his kibble from my hand, but I am not about to start hand feeding my dog every meal, but he ate the kibble straight from my hand. He ate about a 2/3 cup, so half of what he normally eats in a meal. So my watch is beeping at me that I stopped moving. This thing, I tell you what. Okay. Let's see. This goes over the head. And this goes on. Sorry if I'm shaking you. Okay. And hopefully that gave us a nice wide berth between us and that other hiker, because we just kept, like, I would catch up to her because she'd stop to take photos, and then she'd catch up to me just because she's hiking faster, and we just kept going back and forth, and I was like, when are we gonna create some distance so I feel like I'm alone? Not that I don't mind, but just, you know, it gets a little awkward if you just keep kind of passing each other constantly. I'm really curious to see how well the audio turns out for this one. And maybe I'll stop trying to talk so loud, because I noticed on the last video I had to really turn down my voice because it was doing a good job of muffling the wind, but I was talking as though you wouldn't be able to hear me. But it sounded pretty good, but the wind is definitely stronger up here. But yeah. So I hope you enjoy these. I don't even know if I should stop calling them vlogs, or if I should just start calling them like our outdoor series or something, because usually with vlogs it's like multiple days and we're going over here, we're doing this, or it's just a short recap of the week or something like that. But these are going to be me hiking the entire hike, or as much as I can film, because I have it on my chest now. There might be times where I'm not talking at all and it's just music and you're just watching the scenery. It might be times where there's a lot to talk about, but like this hike is probably about a 2-hour hike, and I intend on filming the whole thing, or as much as I have battery for. So I hope you like them, but I'm like, maybe I should categorize these as something else so people don't watch it thinking that we're gonna get like some diamond painting stuff done. Or maybe I just need to put a warning ahead of it, like, hey, this is just a hike. We're not diamond painting. We'll talk about crafting and stuff, but you're not gonna see any canvases or anything. This is just me doing like another thing I absolutely love to do. Holy moly. Are you a little rocket ship? Come over here. Come over here. You are the cutest dog. I hope you know that. Oh my God. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Hey. Easy. Good boy. Good boy. Are you my little bunny? Are you my little snow bunny? Oh, what is it? Come here. Come here. Apollo, go get it. What is it? Come on. Come get it. What is it? He hasn't learned quite how to do the husky digging thing. He does it sometimes. I think there's one video where he did it. But my roommate's dog, who is 100% Siberian Husky, if you do that with your foot, if I go like, what is it? Go get it. Go get it. He will like he'll kind of like pounce into it with his front paws and like dig at it and stick his nose in it. But Apollo does that only on occasion. So I don't know if that's just not in his nature. But he only does it if he really does see something. Or hear something, or thinks he hears or sees something. But for the most part, he just takes a big old mouthful of snow and eats it. But he won't like dive, like nose bomb into the snow. Look at how cute that dog is. Hello. Hi. But he loves it out here. I don't know. I'm sure the mix of that breed really lends itself to snow, obviously. Like there's been times where I've let him out back in the backyard when it's like blizzarding, and he'll have sat down and like curled up, like to hibernate. I'm like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be peeing. So I know that he, has those kind of like Arctic, the winter dog tendencies with his two breeds, but he's not full on, like he's not as much as my buddy's Siberian Husky. He's definitely like, he wants it to be bitter cold constantly, and he overheats easily, and Apollo seems a little bit more mild-mannered when it comes to that. Like obviously he's loving it out here, but come on, let's go. But I don't think he's quite as like intense of a snow dog as like a pure Siberian Husky or a pure Malamute. Somehow the blend of the two equates to more like middle of the road dog. But I was hoping, and he is a very wintry snow dog. I mean, look at him. It's like none of this is phasing him. Hey, stay. Stay. Apollo, easy. Good boy, good boy. Thank you. I can't see up the top of that hill, so let's go. Let's go see what's up there. Where are we at? We're almost at 3 miles, everyone. Okay. He does like the snow. Like, obviously this is not a problem for him. And he's not like, you know, like some dogs when they walk in snow, they're like, eh, eh, eh. Like, he does not care. He'll roll around in it. He'll dive into it. But he's not the, like, ultimate Arctic snow dog that I had originally thought I was getting. But he's pretty darn close. And there isn't anything that I've put him up against as far as weather goes that he hasn't embraced. Like, he doesn't seem the least bit fazed by being out in, you know, low 40s, high 30s degree weather with blowing snow, you know, wind. He seems perfectly content. So I shouldn't be complaining. But yeah, he's not that pure, like, Siberian Husky by any means. We'll see if I ever get my own place, which I'm sure I will soon enough. But when I get my own place, first order of business is to get a second dog. I thought I wanted a cat, but I think I just want a dog to be able to keep up with Apollo and help him get some of his energy out, and they can kind of play with each other and keep each other entertained. So I think I'm going to get another Husky or a Malamute. I don't know if I'm going to get a mix again. I might pick one or the other. I'm thinking a Malamute, and I'm thinking a female. And if I do, I've already got the name picked out. Her name will be Hera. So I will have Apollo and Hera, my two Greek gods. I don't know. I've always liked the name Hera. Mainly, even before I knew even slightly about the mythology, because I don't know much of anything about Greek mythology. I did not know any story of Apollo, and I still really don't. I've learned since getting Apollo that he's like the god of, like, beauty, or the god of, like, vanity or looks or something. I don't remember. But I learned that after getting Apollo, I just really liked the name. And mainly I knew more about, like, the gods' names because my mom used to not really get me into astrology, but anytime we'd go camping or at night, she'd always be like, look, it's Orion's belt, and look, it's this, and look, it's that. So that's kind of how I learned a lot of these names. I didn't really learn them from learning about Greek mythology, and I didn't know Hera was even a goddess's name until researching Apollo, and then also researching Medusa for Head of Medusa. I didn't really know anything about Hera. I just like that name because it is the name of a Korean skincare brand. They do mainly makeup, but they also do some skincare stuff, some pretty basic stuff, cleanser, toner, all that stuff. So that's where I knew Hera, and I just loved that brand name, and I was like, ooh, if I ever get another dog or a girl dog, I'd probably name her Hera. I also like the name Iope, I-O-P-E, and that is another Korean skincare brand. I've always really liked that brand name. So, but I think Hera is just easier to say. And anytime I'm thinking of names, I always think, okay, what's it going to sound like when I'm screaming that at the top of my lungs at a dog park? So, like, Apollo it's easier to say than some of the other names I had picked, was considering for him, even though Apollo was always at the top of my list. And now I'm thinking, okay, if I'm at a dog park and I'm like, Iope! That might sound weird, but if I'm like, Hera, get over here, then that makes more sense. So Hera. And I'd love if I could find a Alaskan Malamute or Husky that was more on the darker side. Both of them that are almost always like a gray and a white, like a typical Husky color. Apollo is kind of rare in that he's all white. Yes, sir. Okay, you want to be off. Okay, let's get around this bend real quick. Ooh, snowdrift, really deep snow. Oh my goodness. Okay. It's deep snow, huh? Snowdrift. Apollo was only one of 2 of his litter that were all white. The rest of them were your classic Husky, gray and white, you know. But he was one of 2 that was all white. And his dopey little eyes were what made me pick him over his brother. He just, like, the moment I saw him, I was like, I love this dog. Like, I already felt a connection. So it might be a while before I feel that again, but I'm going to be on the hunt for a female Husky or Malamute. I guess I'd be okay with a mix too. But I'm sticking with the snow dogs for obvious reasons. You can see right now. My lifestyle kind of dictates that if I do have dogs, they kind of need to be okay with cold temperatures, lots of snow, extended periods outside in the snow and in the cold, the wind. They've got to have those double coats. So yeah. All right, little boy, I think we're looking pretty good right here. Come here. If you see anybody, just be cool, okay? All right, let's go. He's so cute. So yeah, Hera. So if you see a dog I would drive for a dog, to be honest. I would drive. I don't know how far I'd drive, but I would drive an extended period. I got Apollo here, not here in Woodland Park, but in Colorado Springs, so about an hour and a half drive from my place. Hi, Bubba. Hi, baby. So I'm not opposed to driving. I'd go across state lines if I needed to, if it was, the right fit. Price was also a big thing for me. He came from a family that the mom was a Malamute and the dad was a Siberian Husky. And I think one of them must have been mixed with something, because people keep saying that he has kind of Great Pyrenees vibes too. He's not that like pure, he doesn't have that husky face, like the really narrow nose and big, tall, standing up ears. But his parents both did. So there's something in there, and that's, whatever. But, yeah, if I had to go across state lines to find, like, the perfect match. But I was saying it was a family that had them and, like, breeded them, but not, like, a big farm. It was, like, literally a house. And they were like, oh, here he is. And he was just bopping around the living room. So that's kind of what I would prefer, is a small, like, family situation. I'm not trying to go to, like, hey, we're the region's largest mass breeder of whatever, And they were saying that his mom was getting quite old, and so this was going to be the last litter that they did before they were done. And she did look a little old. She was I just remember her, I should have taken pictures of them, but they had the parents out in the backyard, and they just let me look through the window, mainly because they were like, well, they're her puppies, and she's very protective over them, so we don't want you going back there smelling, because I had already been holding him, smelling like him, because that can cause, sorry if that's loud clicking, cause distress for the mom. And I was like, well, that's very understandable. So I just looked through the window, and she was definitely a little older, but very tall and skinny, like super long legs, super tall. And then his dad was actually a little bit more like stout, but very husky, like just a big old husky. But I think it must have been the mom, or I'm not sure, One of the two had some kind of mix. But on his little birth certificate they filled out, he's listed as 50% Malamute, 50% Husky. So that's what we go with. Hi, buddy. Hi. Hi. All right. Almost 3.5 miles. We've got this hill to get up. I'm gonna leash him back up, because I need a pull, and there's usually people resting at the top of this. Hey, come here. Come here, Baba. Good boy. Thank you. Come on, this way. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Thank you. Stay. Oh, you are knocking it out of the park today, buddy. All right. We've burned 800 calories today. I just hit my movement ring. This is quite the workout. This deserves dim sum. Hopefully you can see okay. You can see this hill that we're going up. Whew. Pull me. Heave ho. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna talk. I gotta focus on breathing. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. This way. Oh. Okay. Just came from down there. Sorry. I hope this is more ASMR and less ASM annoying. The breathing. Whew. Okay. Whew. That got me. That one got me, Apollo. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Just a little bit more, and then we're at the top. I think it's just kind of like rolling hills up here, and then we take a pretty steep and significant dive back down towards the start of the loop. And I'm excited to film that because normally I'd turn you off because it's steep and I want to make sure I can brace myself. But now I've got you on my chest, so I have both hands free. Good investment, already paying off. Come on. Whew. Oh my word. Come on. Okay, we've got another hill to climb. Just gotta pretend this is like the last 6 colors of a really confetti heavy section. Okay, let's go. Look at that view though. Apollo, we did it. I just want to sit down. Look at that. Hoping you can see the mountain range right there, straight ahead. Wow. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, just like you, puppy. Just like you. Just like you. Yeah. Oh. Good job, buddy. Yeah. Yeah. Good job. Can I high five? You shake? Yeah. We did it. Oh. Incredible job. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He's a good boy. Yeah. Okay. And keep going. Good job. You got yourself untangled. You're smart. Okay. So that really is kind of the pinnacle as far as difficulty. I think there's a couple other areas where we have to go uphill slightly, but this really is like the peak of the peaks. And now, pretty abruptly, we're going to go into a pretty steep drop-off. It's so beautiful up here. Look at that. Look at that. So that's kind of looking southwest. And then this is kind of all west, 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 west. And then if we were to head straight forward for about 80 miles, you'd end up at my house. I don't know how many kilometers that is. I think it is, let's see. It's like 120, I'll just say that. Roughly 120 kilometers north. This is where I live from here. I'm trying to think because I was on Mia's Live last week and I was talking about going to the dog park. And people were talking about how like far everything is, I think, in the US. And I was like, oh yeah, Colorado is absolutely like one of those places where if you live anywhere outside of like downtown, if you want to go to like a major thing, it's a drive. Like it's just a lot of sprawling housing developments and stuff. And I was telling them that the dog park that I take Apollo to is about 14, I think it's 14 miles from my house, or 17 miles. And they're like, how much is that in kilometers? I was like, I think I did the math, it's like 26 or something like that. So I'm just trying to extrapolate on that. But I don't know the conversion. So yeah, here we're coming up to the big steep hill. Now if I still fall, just know that I have both of my hands to brace me, and this camera is rated for bumps and bruises and spills and all that stuff. And I guess the screen is like ultra strong, so don't freak out if I eat it and I make painful groaning noises. I'm probably just embarrassed more than anything else. But it looks like the snow tapers off up here. I'm just going slow. But I'll show you what my shoe spikes look like if you've never seen them before. They definitely make you a lot more sure-footed. Even when I'm hiking in like this, just regular dirt, when I come down here in normal hiking boots, I still move really slow. Okay, so let me see if I can show you. So there they are. They're just kind of like rubberized on, and they've just got spikes on them. Apollo, if I let you off, please don't run away from me. And please don't break your leg. Okay? Be good. I kind of like to have him off right now because he pulls. and he was pulling me down. Let's go. Yeah, it is slick and snowy, so I'm still taking it slow. Spikes are helpful, but they're not foolproof. So you still want to proceed with caution. Apollo wants me to move faster. I'll try to show you down the hill. So yeah, we're just cruising along down here. Oh boy. Steep, steep, steep. I'm scared of like tripping and falling, so if things get too steep, maybe I've gotten better about it now, because this used to freak me out, but now I don't really mind. And to be honest, talking rather than being in my own head about it actually really helps. So thank you. But when things get too steep, I have been known to sit on my butt and slide, no matter what it is that I'm sliding down. And one time we were rock climbing, and we kind of had to like bushwhack up to this ledge, where you know you start the start of the route was. Come on. And so I'm okay going up really steep things, but then coming down, I tend to freak out. So I had to slide on my butt, and it was muddy and full of twigs, and I just remember getting up, and my whole backside was just like, caked isn't even the right descriptor, but like encased in mud. And like my underwear had even gotten some, and like it was rough. And remember all my climbing buddies were just like laughing at me. I was like, shut up. Because I'm always sensitive when we go and do big outdoorsy stuff like that, because I'm definitely the least fit of like all of my friends. And so they're always just like, you know, little superheroes just bounding around and doing whatever they want. And I'm the one that's always like, okay, I'll be right behind you. And so I'm always a little self-conscious when we go and do that kind of stuff, like hiking, climbing, pretty much anything. And it takes me a lot to get past that, especially if we're in a group, like, and I feel myself falling behind just because I'm slower. I get kind of down on myself. And like, once again, another situation where I risk like being the Debbie Downer in those situations, because I'm like, I'm not fast enough, I'm not fit enough, you know. And then I get over it eventually, but I have to try. Like, I have to be intentional about letting that go, because no one else is thinking of that. It's not like they're hiking ahead of me like, oh, he's really holding us up. Like, no one cares. So it's just little things like that that have just taken years to recognize, acknowledge, and try to work past. But I think I'm pretty much past most of that now. But yeah, so it just takes me a little bit more to get past that. But yeah, I'm just like, I always feel like I'm the one that's like, can we just take a break, go get some McDonald's, and calm down? Who feels like a Whopper? It's usually where I'm at. But I'm getting better. Hey, Forest Boy, let's go. Let's go. Come on. Go. So cute. So cute. So yeah, we're kind of going up and down hills now, but the moral of the story is we're kind of headed back down. And then, like I said, we'll kind of loop around and then end up back at where we've started. I'll probably end the clip there and then finish with you in the car, just so I have a chance to kind of breathe, and then I can say my goodbyes. But we still have a ways. I'm not going anywhere for a little bit. We have to kind of go up through this, and then we'll start to curve off to the left, and then that's where we'll, hey, let's go. That's where we'll start to find our way back to the beginning. There was a couple times I came on this loop, and for whatever reason, there are little kickoffs in this trail where you can kind of turn. There's like a fork in the road, and I wouldn't be paying attention. Now that I'm filming, I'm a little bit more cognizant because I'm walking you guys through what we're doing. But usually I just have a podcast on and I just kind of zone out and just try to get through, you know, and stop and take pictures and stuff, but just kind of get through it. And then, which reminds me, once we get to this hill, I'm gonna take a picture of myself. I've been trying to be more active on the Facebook group Diamonds and Dumbbells. It's a fitness group for diamond painters. If I remember, I'll put the link. But I've been trying to post on there just to hold myself accountable of like, hey, I did this. I quickly found out that I didn't need to post there to be accountable. I'm pretty serious about getting into shape. So it's fun, but at first I was like, I'm gonna really rely on this. Like, don't forget to do your post. And if you don't have anything to post, then go get some exercise, but I haven't needed that. But it's still nice for encouragement purposes. So let me take a picture of this, of me and Apollo up here. That way I can share it, and that'll be a kind of post within a filming. So if you were on that Diamonds and Dumbbells site and you saw this post, and then you're seeing that photo, now you know exactly when I took it. You can see how ridiculous, taking the picture now, you can see how ridiculous I look with the camera. I look so stupid. I've got like all this gear on, like I look, oh my word. I look like a total like nerdy cameraman. What? Why are you looking? What did you eat? You know what? I don't even care. I don't even care. As long as it doesn't make you sick. Oh, it's snow. He's eating snow. Come on, let's go. A little snow dog. Let's see if I can get him to chase a snowball. Apollo. Whoa, whoa, that was almost me. Ready? Ready? Go! He did not see it at all. Ready? Okay, go on. Good boy. Is this some good exercises? Yeah. Look at him. Come on. Come on. Oh my gosh. Honestly, this dog he was such a life changer, and I will immediately get emotional, but he's just like, he's it, man, you know? I just love him to death. Huh? You make me cry? Are you gonna make me cry? You gonna make me cry on the mountains? Okay. Got another slippery, slidery slip fest. So I'm gonna try to be cool. Easy does it. Whew. This is almost worse than the other one because there's no dirt pile to give you a break. It's just packed snow. Yikes. I can see. I don't want to jinx myself. I'll wait till I get down. Sir, that's a tree. Look at this dog. Apollo? He just flung it. He just flung it. Good boy. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Okay. I think we're relatively okay now. I was gonna say, I can see people's shoe prints with the big like out the back, like where they slid. And I was about to say that, and I'm like, watch me say that and immediately do the same thing. I don't think I could slide in tracks and spikes, but anything's possible. Like I said, they're not foolproof. Like if you hit a patch of really good ice, or they start to get snow stuck in between them, so you're just walking on snowballs, that's when you can slip. So, but they are definitely helpful. I feel a lot safer walking in these. Like even something like this, just you have to be really careful. Keeping an eye out for other people because it's starting to get windy, so you never know who's gonna pop up around a corner. But so far so good. I also know people horseback ride around this trail, so I also want to be mindful of that. If he sees them before I do, I don't want him running up on a horse. But anyway, being fit, being healthy. The Diamonds and Dumbbells Facebook group, I've been posting to that, or at least trying to. And then, yeah, I'd like to, last summer was definitely the height of my, it's just when I really started to get into diamond painting. And I feel like last summer was probably the least active I've been in a long time during a summer. Like, usually I can't even count how many hikes that I go on in a summer. Like, I can't be like, well, then we went this, and then we went here. Like, it just, like, there's been years where I would go hiking every weekend, hiking or camping every weekend from, like, late April till September. Like, every weekend. That's all I was doing, unless it was, like, a holiday that I wanted to spend with family, like 4th of July. Otherwise, I was almost constantly with friends hiking. There'd be some times where they'd go do something that was a little too intense for my liking, like multi-day backpacking trips and stuff. I tend not to like those. But I'll go on like a 2-day backpacking trip, but mainly because of work. That's the other thing. A lot of my friends they all work for, like the two of my buddies are the owners of a construction company, and then the rest of my buddies work for them or in that vicinity. So they can all collectively be like, all right, we're going to take off, this day to this day all together as like a company and just hold off on, starting that new project or celebratory of a finished project. We'll take the week off. So they kind of all have the same schedule. And I'm kind of the odd man out because I don't work for them. I work, like a normal 9 to 5. So a lot of times they do these longer trips, and they do them spontaneously too. They'll be like, oh, the snow's really good, let's go skiing tomorrow. I'm like, I have to request time off. I can't just leave. Let's go. So there are times where I don't do some of that stuff with them, but if it's just weekend trips or long weekend, then I'll go do that. But yeah, I'd say like 3 years ago, I was constantly camping and hiking and adventuring. And then once I found diamond painting, it kind of consumed me a little bit. And so last summer, like there's so much stuff that I didn't do that I normally do. And so just upon reflection, now that I'm like at a year mark, I need to do like a year. Maybe that's what I'll probably do another separate video talking about what I've learned over the first year, because we're at about a year. Is I want to get back into that, some of the other stuff. Like I think I find something I really like and I just go all in. But with this hobby, because it's kind of I don't want to say isolating, because a lot of people diamond paint with their friends or family, but a lot of people, myself included, just kind of diamond paint alone. and it's also a time-consuming craft. So when you combine the two, like, I don't know, I've just been doing a lot of reflection. I'm just like, I want to get back to my just being a lot more involved with, you know, friends and doing more stuff and just kind of, I don't know, just changing things up. So you'll probably see more and more videos like this, more and more videos of me and my buddies. This camera's waterproof, so I can take you rafting with me. Oh my God. He is just cooking. Oh my word. Apollo, hey, I don't know what's around this corner. Stay. Easy. Hey, stay. Okay, you're good. So yeah, I want this summer to be a little bit more balanced. Obviously I went on hikes and stuff, you know, I took Apollo out a lot, but not as much. I want to find a happy middle ground. So take you guys camping with me. I don't think we've done any camping trips. So yeah. But like I said, we're starting to curve off to the left, as you can see. We'll start coming up on some more houses. Actually, I see one already. And then we're going to dip back to the beginning of the trail and then back to the parking lot. So let me clip him up. Apollo, easy. Stay. Easy. Good boy. You are a rock star. Get him clipped now in case we come across people on the main, like, in and out path will be good. Get him all boxed up in the car, and then I need to call the dim sum place because they work best off of reservations. You can do a walk-in, but they've got limited seating, and it is a longer meal, longer service. I think I've said this before, but it's a tea house that also serves homemade dim sum, and it's all frozen. Like, the owner preps it. It's a lot of dumplings, and you know, so they pre-prep them, freeze them, and then behind the counter they have like 2 small single burner electric stoves, like electric burners, and they serve that entire tea house. Like, maybe I'd say there's probably about 10 tables just using those 2 single burners, and they just heat stuff up. And that sounds like it wouldn't be good, but they're delicious homemade frozen dim sum, and so it's incredible. And but it takes a while to steam and heat things up from frozen, especially just having 2 burners. So when you go there, you're committing to at least an hour, hour and a half at that meal, because they also do the full tea service where if I have enough battery, maybe I'll try to film it. But they do this full tea service that's like very intricate and, once again, time consuming. And also I'm going as a table for one, so when I do a walk-in, they're usually like, oh, it's gonna be like a 45-minute hour wait. Mr. likes to eat by himself. So when I call ahead, they're just more forgiving of that, I suppose. But yeah, one time we went on this hike as a group. I think it was actually last year for my birthday. There's like 6 of us that went on this hike, and then we went and had dim sum there, and we were there for like 2 hours because there was like 6 of us. We ordered a ton of food, and I could tell all my buddies were like, this is crazy. And they did say it was delicious and a lot of fun, but they weren't expecting to spend that long there. I was like, yeah, it was even longer because they're all like big eaters, you know, they're like all outdoorsy, bigger guys. And I can eat a decent amount when, especially after a hike like this, and I haven't had breakfast. Well, what did I have? Did I have a yogurt today? Yeah. It's just like you burn so many calories and you're working out and you're just like hungry. And they're little plates, you know, it's like 3 dumplings or 2 little spring rolls. So you're able to eat a lot of them, but when it's only those 2 burners and like two people working there whose main job is just serving tea, it can get really backed up. So when you're like, can we get 6 orders of whatever? It just takes a while. So anyway, we are at 4.6 miles. We'll probably be closer to 5.5. 5.5 miles by the time we get back to the car. So that's a pretty good little hike. We've burned 900 calories on this hike, and we've been going for 2 hours. So not too shabby. Whew. Guess I didn't realize how long this one was. I was like, I think it's like 3 miles or something like that. But nope. We're gonna be on the higher end of 5. 5 coming on 6, I think, by the time we get down. So if you can see, there's our little frozen stream that we crossed when we arrived at the intersection. And we are back. That's it. That's the loop, everyone. That is Lovell Gulch Trail loop. It's rated as, I believe, medium to medium intense. And the loop itself, I'd say, is 4.5 miles plus a mile on either end. But look at this. It's so cool walking on the frozen stream. What do you think, Apollo? Was that good? Look at the underside of this dog. He's like covered in mud. Luckily, I have seat covers in the back. Good job, buddy. Pull my giant body. Oh, he's such a little love bug. You gonna sleep in the car while I eat dim sum? You just sleep in the car? He's such a good car. Like, I really lucked out on a lot of things. Like, there's some things that he still needs to master, like not jumping on people when they come in the house, that type of stuff. But one thing that is a huge plus is his manners in the car are better than like any dog that I've ever been in a car with. He sits down, lays down, sleeps most of the time. When he's not sleeping, he just sits and either looks out the window or flips his head around to look out the back. And that's it. He doesn't try to get up in the front seat. He doesn't try to like get up all in my grill, like my buddy's husky. I think it's cute, but he doesn't like it. My buddy's husky always fights to get in the front seat or like put his head up right next to yours, or just like generally be up in your business. And Apollo doesn't want anything to do with that. Like, he plops down. Sometimes I'll stick my hand behind me and he'll just hold my hand and go back to sleep, and it's so cute. And then when I leave him in the car, obviously not on hot days, just in the winter time, like today, it's high 30s, low 40s. I'll crack the windows, it'll be freezing in there, and he sleeps. He just curls up in the back seat and sleeps. Or sometimes, if it's a quick trip, I bust him sitting straight up, staring right out the front window in the driver's seat. He'll just be sitting there. And it's not even that he's necessarily waiting for me. I think he's just like people watching. Because sometimes I'll come up from behind the car and like unlock the door, and he looks over like oh, I wasn't looking for you. Like, he gets surprised. Like, oh, you're coming back. And then all I have to do is say, excuse me. And he just gets right in the back seat. So I don't know what that is. Ever since I got him, the first day I brought him home, he just plopped down on the seat and fell asleep. Even as like a tiny little puppy. Like, he does not mind a long car ride. I've learned that because at first, when I started going on longer car rides, I was stopping to let him go potty. And he would eventually after I walked him around for a while, but I've learned that he can, you know, just like when I crate him, he's not like jonesing to go potty every hour. Of course, I try to make sure he's comfortable. I'm not going to drive for like 8 hours or something crazy like that, but I mean, it took an hour and a half to get up here, and we just went straight through, and I didn't hear a peep out of him, you know? So that's huge. That's huge for me, because that means that I can take him during the summer on longer day trips. We can be a little bit more adventurous. I don't have to worry about him, like, you know, having a conniption in the back seat or trying to jump up front. Like, I'm sure eventually he'd let me know, like, hey, it's potty time, you know. But he is a very patient dog when it comes to being in the car. When we're at home, not so much, but in the car, which is kind of more, I mean, that's of higher value to me, to be honest. He just goes into like a very calm state, and it's amazing. I hope he doesn't ever grow out of that. Come on, buddy. Did you get a good workout? You're moving a little slow. I'm kind of like, he's not pulling really anymore. And when he stops to sniff something, he's usually very intent about getting his sniffs in. And so I have to pull him forward to move forward. And he's just coming with me. He's just like, yeah, we're done. That was a good workout. Oh, and look, we're caught up to our friend. We pretty much went in tandem. That's must have been just far back enough that we didn't ever see her after we got to the top. Oh, now he really did find something. Come on, baby. Let's go. I'm gonna wear these tracks a lot more often now. You don't want to wear them if it's not super muddy or snowy, because when you're walking on like gravel or rocks, you can wear them down and dull them, and they can even snap or bend. So you don't want to be on like, you know, just flat rockiness where they're going to bang up against a lot of rocks and stuff. But they just give you so much more grip and stability and reassurance when hiking. It's kind of awesome. I love them. I don't wear them enough. What do you think, buddy? All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. We're literally like, I mean, if you remember from the time we got to the start of the loop from the car to there, it's not that far. So let me get to the car, because I'm also gonna I'm most likely gonna switch back over to my phone. I have found that this camera is a little bit more difficult to use in the car mount, because it overheats in the direct sun like that. It's an action camera for a reason. It's ideal when it's moving, when there's air passing by it, when it can cool itself. So when you're out in the, you know, if I'm out in the bright sun, if I was out in the bright sun during the summer and I was hiking or moving, then that's different than sitting under like the beating sun through a windshield with no movement. So it is an action camera in that sense, and I did read up on that because it was kind of annoying. But it turns out that's just the nature of these cameras. They're intended to have air or movement, so they can cool that way. Because they're so compact and tiny, it's not like there's fans in there or anything like that. They just aren't built for stationary indoor under bright lighting. So I don't know how well they'll work for whip-in chats and or how well it'll work for whip-in chats or unboxings. I haven't tried it yet. But the phone is a little bit more resilient under those conditions. The other thing is this doesn't have a front and rear facing camera. It's just the front facing camera. So when I do like my time lapses of like, oh, let me show you the road and then let me flip around so you can see me sitting in the car, I can't really do that with this because the camera only faces one way. And if I tried to flip the camera around so you could see out the front window, my camera mount isn't built that way. It's built for a phone, so it would be blocking the lens. So I've found in today's trip that it was easier for me to say hello to you all with my camera and then quickly flip to the other side of my phone, the rear facing camera, without having to like fuss with the mount. I just have to hit a button and then hit time lapse and go. So this will most likely just be for our outdoor activities, but I may try to do a whip-in chat with it. I may try to do an unboxing, see if it overheats. Otherwise, I'll keep using my phone in certain circumstances. So, but once we get to the car, all of that's to say, when we get back to the car, I have to basically disassemble everything. So get the camera off the mount, take the chest mount off, pack it all up, get the batteries and everything back in its charger, get the microphone back in its charger, and then I'll switch to the camera mount. So I'm gonna cut it right here. All right, we'll see you guys in the car. Bye, Apollo. Say bye. Okay, he says bye. Okie dokie. We're back in the car. Let's see. I don't know if I can look up the workout itself, but yeah, we did pretty much exactly 5.5 miles. It was like 5.56 or something like that. That was quite the hike. I forgot how long it was. It's definitely harder when it's snowy and you've got to really kind of push yourself along, but oh, it was good. My feet are a little sore, my legs are a little sore, but it was definitely worth it. Apollo is immediately laying down. I gave him a little bit of water, but he didn't drink too much. So maybe when we get to the tea house, I'll try giving him some more. And then, yeah, we'll get back to the house. I'm going to take a non-scenic way back to the house. So the way that we went that you saw in the time lapse is like the scenic way that's on the west side, kind of going through a little bit of the mountains and stuff. The way back, we can just take I-25, which is like the interstate that runs through Colorado. We can take that from Colorado Springs straight back up to home, and it cuts about 25 minutes off of the drive. So it's just a lot more practical. But I wanted to show you the pretty part of the drive and not the 6-lane highway part of the drive. So we'll do that. The other thing that I'd like to stop and do, even though I look a mess, is I have been really trying to find a new fragrance or a new cologne. I usually have like a cologne that I wear every day, and I ran out of my fancy one a while ago, months ago, but my mom got me a cologne for Christmas that's just like it's just like one that comes in like a gift set that you can snag at Walgreens or wherever, and it's been fine. It's just kind of that classic kind of barbershop kind of aftershavey kind of smell, but it's not really me. But I just, for whatever reason, I didn't buy a new fragrance or a new cologne. I just have been using the one my mom got me. But I want to get back to like, I don't know, for whatever reason, that's part of self-care for me, is like having like a cologne that I really like, or just like, I don't know why it's something I like, but, and I go in and out, like I'll go like a whole year without really having a cologne. I'll just use like a body spray or whatever. And then I'll just get in these moods where I'm like, I want to treat myself and take care of myself that way. And I like when people compliment, oh, you smell really good. What is that? And I used to get that a lot when I was wearing my last cologne. It was from, oh my gosh, what was it called? I don't remember what it was called, but I got it at Sephora. It's not called Republic or Ritual, or I don't know. They make a bunch of different fragrances. They're all supposed to be unisex. And it's like this, glass bottle, but it has almost kind of a linen label. It's almost printed on like a fabric and then glued onto it. I forget what it was called, but they had a bunch of different fragrances. This one was called Jazz Club, and it was just really nice. So I'm gonna treat myself to getting a fragrance again. I tried to go the cheap route. I went to Target the other day, and they had clearance on a bunch of their men's care stuff, and they had this body spray. It's like a deodorant body spray from this company. It was on clearance for half off, so it was like $3.20 or something, and it was sandalwood and vetiver or something like that, or maybe some kind of citrus. I don't remember. Bergamot probably, and sandalwood. And I was like, oh, okay, this will work. I can do this on the cheap. And no, I can't. It's, even though it's supposed to be like, it looked more upscale, for a $3.20, it just smelled like straight alcohol, Axe body spray. Like, it totally was giving me middle school vibes. And I was like, nope, I can't. And of course it dissipates in like 2 minutes. So I was like, yeah, there is something to be said for like a high quality fragrance. There really is. Especially since they last so long. Like the last one that I got, now I want to know the name of it. Dang it. If I could remember on the next Whip and Chat or something, I'll say what the brand was. It wasn't Republic. Why do I want to say R? I don't know. If you look up Jazz Club under Sephora's website, I'm sure it'll come up. And as soon as I get done with this clip, I'm going to look it up. But yeah, so I want to go to Sephora on the way home and just get like a nice fragrance, or I might drop Apollo off and then go do that. I don't know yet. But I've been meaning to get one, so I'll probably use my time at the tea house looking up some fragrances to put on a short list, and then I can go and sample them when I get there. I'm thinking back to when I bought that. I bought that with my ex-boyfriend. So it's been a year and a half or something like that. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've bought a nice fragrance. And I ran out of that, I want to say probably this past like August. So it lasted almost a year. That scent lasted about a year. So yeah, it's time to get back into, I don't know. I think I keep hearing myself talk about like, I'd like to get back into this. I'd like to get back into this. I want to start taking care of myself again in this way. And I think that the theme of the story that I'm trying to tell is like, I think I've been kind of in a slump and like in like a various mild or more intense kind of depressive state. I don't know, not intense, but just like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like what is the connective tissue here of like why I'm kind of going. I think maybe it's just, it's just the tides, like emotional tides, and just how you live your life. But I feel like I've been doing a lot of like, take care of yourself in this way, invest in yourself this way, going back to those things that you really liked to do. And just for like the past year, I just, for whatever reason, have let a lot of that stuff go, and I don't know what that is. So I don't know, man. I think it's time to also really, now that I have like, really, really good insurance, to really start thinking about how I can take care of myself from a mental health standpoint as well, just to have that additional support. And maybe that would help me to uncover like why I have these trends of just like being really active and really taking care of myself, what that means to me, you know, and then I have these moments where I just kind of let that stuff go, and then I come back to it, and I don't know, it's strange, and it always, like, a lot of times it coincides with like the hobbies and things that I'm really into, or I devote so much time and energy into something, and I kind of let that take over, and then I stop kind of worrying about myself or my friendships and that type of stuff. So it's all about, this is the year of finding balance, I think, for me. It's just like, I can do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. It doesn't have to be everything, all of time, energy, money into this one thing, whatever that is, and then everything else gets set aside, and then I come back, like, you know, I can find a balance. So that's what this year's going to be, I think, is the trend that I'm seeing so far, is like, find some balance, because I don't want to abandon diamond painting. I don't want to abandon other things, you know. And I think having Apollo's definitely taught me that when you have something that is a living thing that relies on you, there isn't the option of like, I'm over this, you know. You don't get that choice. So I think having him is also teaching me that, like, how that's how I need to treat other things in my life, is with balance and being able to kind of do a little of this, a little of that, a little of this, you know, give that thing as much care as it needs, you know, all that stuff. So it's taken me a while to get there, but I think I'm just feeling a lot more optimistic. A lot of that probably has to do with working out more. And yeah, and I think you will probably see less content to the channel because I'm doing a lot of other stuff. Like yesterday, I had the intention of diamond painting, and I wanted to I did diamond paint, but I wanted to diamond paint like longer. But my roommate came home with his girlfriend, and we were chatting, and they were going to watch a movie. Typically, I'd be like, okay, guys, well, enjoy your movie, bye, and go sit in my craft room and do my thing. But they were like, do you want to watch The Mummy? And I was like, sure, let's, like, absolutely. So we just like sat down and just had our own little commentary on The Mummy and had a great time. And then I went to bed, and I didn't get to diamond paint anymore. So it's just stuff like that. Like, I think that feeds me emotionally, you know, we just cackled at kind of a little bit of the more ridiculous parts of that movie. And, you know, it seems so simple, but when I think my mind is like it's easy for me to get fixated on something and put a lot more of my time and emotion into something. And with diamond painting, I think in my head I've made it so much more important than maybe I should. And not to say I don't, like, I love doing it, but, you know, there are times where I spend a lot of time thinking about, okay, this kit, and then I should be able to get this amount done by this time, which means I can roll into this kit for this thing, and then I really need to work in a whip there. When can I fit that in? And I'm like planning and scheduling all this stuff around diamond painting, and I'm kind of like starting to get to this point where I'm like, wait a minute, you know, it's fun and all. I like doing it, and I love that I've got to interact with so many cool people, but I may have let this consume too much of like my mental energy and my time. Like, I may have and not even may, I know that I've tipped too far into like letting it, yeah, it's too much. I didn't do a good job of like incorporating a new hobby and like and fitting it into the other stuff I'm doing. I set everything else aside, I feel like. So, but I don't want to completely abandon it like I normally do when I hit this point. You know, I typically rubber band back and be like, all right, destash them all, bye. I don't want to completely let it go, mainly because I found so many cool people, and I do find it very relaxing. It's very rewarding. It's easy to get pulled into this craft because or at least easy for me, because it feeds so many of those things that I look for in life, you know. But I think it's time to start finding those things in other places. That way it'll continue feeding what I need socially, feeding what I need from a health and activity standpoint. Yeah, I've just got to find a little bit more of a balance. So anyway, so yeah, don't freak out if you start to see fewer videos go up. Don't freak out if those videos tend to be me doing more outdoorsy stuff, longer vlogs. Like today, I mean, we're going to be in excess of 2 hours, I think, with this one. So I want to bring you along. I want to share as much as I can with you. And I think a lot of folks that are watching, just like myself, I like it for the company. I like to just hear about what people are doing and what's going on, and I'm very thankful and lucky that I've found a group of crafters that don't mind diamond painting or working on their kits while listening to me hike or listening to me, you know, go on drives or this and that. I was initially super worried that videos that aren't like your classic whip-in chats or your classic kitting ups and stuff weren't going to go over very well, because that's not what, you know, that's not what initially the channel's a diamond painting channel. But I think I've been able to carve this space for myself where I can talk a lot about diamond painting and I can show my finishes and stuff, but I've been able, I still do whip-in chats and I will continue to do them occasionally, but I think I've been very lucky to be able to have this little corner where I can do a lot of non-crafting things and still be considered part of this community, which, thank you so much for making me feel welcome in that way. I've never once had someone be like, get back to placing. So I appreciate it. Even if you've thought it and you bit your tongue, thank you. But I am active. You see me around. You see me here and there. And I do it, you know, I need to be better about filming more of when I diamond paint, but I've just been doing it a little bit more in little snippets, you know, and not like a sit down and do an hour-long time lapse, you know, or diamond paint straight for an hour to get, you know, the time lapse. But you'll still see it. I'm not committing or uncommitting to anything. I'm just saying that I will continue to flex and evolve and change things, and it's purely based on what I think is going to be the best for me and the healthiest for me, and I hope that you'll come along for that ride. So anyway, we're going through this canyon. It is absolutely gorgeous, so I kind of want to time-lapse you a little bit at the very end of this. I want to give you a little taste of this if we can manage. We're almost through it, so maybe not, but I'm going to try. Real quickly, though, I want to say my goodbyes. So thank you so much for continuing to watch, continuing to support. I hope that this keeps you company while you're crafting, doing whatever it is you're doing. It's why I make videos. It's why I watch others' videos, is because I feel connected after watching whip-in chats or vlogs and stuff. So, all right, well, don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content with friends, family members, anyone that you think might take some value out of this content. Otherwise, happy placing, and we will see you next time. Bye, 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 bye. Say bye, Apollo. He's like, I'm tired. Okay, bye.